Welcome to Ice Kinky. My name is Papi, and today we are going to learn how to make this video.
Yɛse Versace for BBA go be joint bo top point ni yɛkɔ checking out aba.
Today there's a tutorial about how to use Adobe Animate. So I got my characters here. I've got like 3 characters here that we'll be using in this animation. So we've got like 3 characters here, and we're going to be using them for this animation, just like we said. All right. So let's get into it. Okay. So to begin, I want to show you something. So we are currently in Inkscape, and as you can see, there's something blue here. I put a blue background or a blue rectangle behind the character. This is the head, this is the body, and this blue rectangle is all of them have this blue. This one has this blue rectangle, but I've made the opacity low so you can't see it. This one also has it. The point of the blue rectangle behind it is that it is making all of them have the same size because they are images and we are going to switch them. So these are the 3 key poses that we'll be using in our animation today. So I've put this blue background. You see the line to make sure that it is the same as this one, so that we can switch it. When we switch it, there will not be any problems. All right, so we are getting into it. Okay, so yeah, let's get to it. All right, so we are in Adobe Animate right now, and let's see what's up. So this is scene 1, and let's go to properties and let's change something. This is the stage color. You come to objects, come to document, and then you come and change the stage color here. So let's set it to maybe blue, and then fit in window. All right, so before we start anything in Adobe Animate, we need like before we start the animation, we will need a background. We already have the poses, but we have to export the poses as PNG images from Inkscape to the Adobe Animate. Yes, so let's get that one done. All right, so we are here. So we export the first one. Export as. So we'll go to the desktop and create a new folder to call it 001. All right. So we have a new folder called 001, and we are going to save this as character 001. Make sure that anytime you are creating poses, you end it in 001 because you are trying to create a sequence. All right. So we save it as character 001, and then we'll export it. Then we'll come to the next one. Before that, I have to make sure that this one, the opacity is set to 0. So we set the opacity to 0. We can do it like this, or you can just go here and set the fill to blank. All right. So we have set the fill to blank, and we are about to export this one too. So we'll export it into the same folder we exported the first one. And we'll name that one character 002. As I said earlier, it is because we are creating a sequence. All right. So we have done the second one. Let's do the third one, and then we'll be done exporting them. Now if you have noticed, after I come here and I do this, I change the characters, I rename the character, and I click save here. It doesn't save. You have to come here and click export before it will export. If you don't do this, you might lose some files. It won't save. You have to click here export before it exports. All right, so now we are done. Now let's go and get a background and also export it. All right. So I've got like a background here that we're going to use. Blur it a little bit. All right. We're going to use this background, and let me just create something here. So this is the area that we are going to use. Okay. Now let's go to export, and then we'll export it in the same folder that we exported the characters. Just going to name that background. We are not going to add any 0010 anything to it because it's not a sequence. All right, so we save it and then we export it. Let me cancel, it is too big. So let me cancel it and make it 200. You see, this is 4,000. That means the width is 4,000 and this one is 2,000. Normally, it has to be like 920 for like full HD. The width has to be 920 for full HD and the height has to be like 1080 for full HD. So let's just make it now. I mean, I think it's better. It's still big, but it's better than previously. So we export it. Okay. So it's exporting. Alright, so it's done exporting. Let's head straight into the Adobe Animate and let's go and start importing the files. So we'll go here and we'll click import, import to stage. To open this, open a pop up this something for us, and then we'll go to the top. I named the folder 001. So just go and select the background, and then the background is coming. Alright, the background is here. As you can see, let's go to show all. As you can see, the background is bigger than the window that you are going to animate in. So we are going to change some things. So I'll hit shift and hold, and then I'll use it to resize it. Then I'll come here. Nice. Now we click this thing. It says clip content outside the stage. So we have clipped that, and I will come to fit in window. Right. So that's the background. Let's name this layer background layer, or you can just name it background. You see, it says special characters are not permitted in the layer. I added a space character. They said it's not permitted, so they will remove that one, and they've added some underscore something. All right. So we'll lock this layer because we're not going to do any animation there. You're just going to use that as the background. And now let's go to the next stage. We're going to create a symbol. Now a symbol is going to store all of our files inside. All right. All of our, you see the sequence that we created. It's going to store all of that sequence here. So we'll go to import and then we'll import to stage. Now look at what happens. I click character one. I just selected only character one. I clicked open. Now look at what comes. This file appears to be in a sequence of images. Do you want to import all of the images in the sequence? How did the app know it's in a sequence? Because we named it like that. We named the character 001. So it checked the other files in the folder and realized that there are other files that are named similarly. So it realized that it's in a sequence. So it says that do we want to import all of those images? We will click yes and it will import everything. Okay. Now let's go here and see how it all looks like. All right. So when we go to frame one, let me. So this is like frame one, frame two. When you select frame one, this is what comes. Frame two, you see it has changed. Frame three, that's changed. So that is how our animation is going to be like today. We're going to go back here and then go back to fit in window. And we are back to the actual scene, the scene one. That one we were in a symbol. Let's go to the library, let me show you. We're in the symbol. This is the symbol, the character symbol. That is where all of these things can be found. We have placed them into a symbol. All right. So you can play around that to understand it. Now we are going to drag this. We have created a new layer here. Let's call that character layer. Okay, we have added a space again, so it brought another error. So just let's name it character. All right, let's do it. So now in the character layer, let's just bring the character symbol here. I'm going to resize it to make it bigger. Okay. All right. Now you have to create another layer called sound and then bring the sound that we are going to use. All right. So in this place I have like a voice recording, and I'm going to drag it and drop it into Adobe Animate. Okay, so let me go back and check something, the length of the sound recording, and you can see that just 3 seconds. So we will check. So we have 1 second here, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Now come here and then we'll check something. Okay, so it has to be between here. What we are doing is that we're inserting a frame. When you insert a frame, to show you that this layer, there's sound in it with a waveform. Are you seeing the waveform? Yes, that's how it's like. Yes. Now you can see that this line, that means the line is very flat. That means there's no sound there. So we delete that place, remove frames. I press shift and hold. Now select the first frame where I want to delete it from to the last frame, and then I'll click this one, remove frames. Yes. Okay. Now as you can see, it has come back to the blue background. It's because these ones have not also been brought here. It is only available in the first frame. So to bring them all to this, to the 88th frame where we are, we just click here, and that one too will click here. Alright, so here's how our animation looks so far. Let me just bring this one to the bottom first. I like to do that. You can, it's not compulsory, but I like to keep the sound at the bottom of the layers. Alright, so let's play. In Adobe Animate, you don't use the space bar to play. I think it's I mean, for my own, don't use the space bar, use the enter key. So this is how it sounds.
Ezi message for bibi go be joint bo top puntini ye ko checking out aba. Ezi message for
So as you saw, it was these frames, this one kept switching. Now what is happening is that all the images in the frames are switching. Now we have to change that. So we come to properties and make sure that your this thing, I don't know, your cursor or something is in the first frame. Then you come to properties, object, and then you come to looping. Then you select this, play single frame for the graphic. So we set it there. Now let's see how it sounds. Let me change the audio. No, it's fine.
ezi message for bibi go be joint bo top puntini ye ko checking out aba.
Nice. Okay, so now what we have to do is that we have to add the lip sync layer. Alright, so we're going to create a new layer and call it lip sync. That's the lips. Okay. So now we have to get some lips and put it here to match the audio, and then our animation will be done. So then let's go and create a new symbol. Now in this symbol, you are going to call it lip sync. Alright, so go to file and then import again, import to stage, and then I have them at the desktop. Yeah, let me find it. Okay, so here they are. Alright, so this one too, it says this file appears to be part of a sequence. It's also a sequence, so you're just going to click yes, and you can see that all the lips are here. Yes, so these are the lips that we're going to use in this animation. And let's go here, frame 1, and then import. Now when you go here, drag it here. Alright, make sure that it is proportional. Now let's play to see how it's like.
Ezi message for bibi go be
Right. Okay. So I think it's all right. I think it's all right. Let me see. This kind of looks all right.
ezi message for bibi
Let me send it back and let me see if it's nice.
go be joint bo top puntini ye ko checking out aba.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, so yes, I think it's fine. All right, so what we are going to do is that we're going to go to properties object, and we'll come here and come to lip syncing. Now, when you come to lip syncing, it says automatically create lip syncing in two steps. One, set up bitems in your graphic symbol, and two, choose the layer containing the desired audio to sync with. Now, here's what we do: we come to neutral, and we choose this because the mouth is neutral. There's no talking going on. Ah, how does ah sound? Like this. D. So as I was saying, D, I'm going to use this as D, E, F, I'm going to use this as F. I should have drawn all of these ones, but I'm using simple ones. L, and I'm going to use this as M. O, have O here, W, U, S, and R. Okay. Now it says sync with audio in layer. So we have a layer called sound at the bottom here. It's going to sync with that one. Alright, so click done, and then to sync it. Okay, now let's test our animation. It's in window. We'll click here.
Ezi message for bibi go be joint bo top puntini ya ko checking out aba.
Now let's zoom in to see if the audio was matching.
Ezi message for bibi go be joint bo top puntini ya ko checking out aba.
Alright, I think it's nice. I think it's cool. So what we have to do now is that we're going to export it. We'll go to File, Export, Video or Media. Yes. Then I have it here to go into my videos directory. So it is at 920. I think everything's here. Now what you have to make sure is that the format, it has to be H.264 and the preset YouTube 1080 Full HD. Yes, that's what I use. Alright, so now let's name this test animation. Alright, so we'll click export. What it's going to do is that it says start Adobe Media Encoder render queue immediately. Now this is another app, it's called Adobe Media Encoder, and you have to have it because it's going to export from here, then it is going to export it in the Adobe Media Encoder. So you have to have that app also, it's a separate app. Alright, so click export. Now it's going to take some time to export. Alright, so it's going to open the Adobe Media Encoder and then to export. Alright, so go to Adobe Media Encoder, and as you can see, it is finished. It has finished encoding it. And when we go back to Adobe Animate to tell us that the file has been successfully created. Alright, so now let's go and watch it. Yes, we did a good job, but we forgot something. We have to animate the body. Forgot to animate the body. Alright, now let's come here. Fit in window. Now let's animate the body. So for the starting pose, we are going to set it here. Go to frame picker. Make sure it's a frame picker. Don't set it here. And we'll come here, we'll play.
Ezi message for bibi
And we'll change it. Then you can see that it has created a new keyframe. That's created a new keyframe here. Then we'll play it again.
bibi go be joint bo top puntini ya ko checking out aba.
Alright, now let's play the whole thing so that you see how it is like.
Ezi message for bibi go be joint bo top puntini ya ko checking out aba.
Have you seen how it's like? So that's how it is. So now we can export it again. But now you understand the whole how the exporting is like already. So we can just play it here.
Ezi message for bibi go be joint bo top puntini ya ko checking out aba. Ezi message for bibi go be joint bo top
Alright, so that's it for today's tutorial. My name is Juan Papi and thank you for watching Ice King. Ice King.